Okay. So real quick, let's have a real quick conversation, right? Um, just take a quick stock of the Yu-Gi-Oh! Master Duel meta, because like, let's be real, that's the fucking meta I play. I don't want to buy paper. Paper's expensive. I'm already poor, and I don't want to play. I just want to play Master Duel, right? So, we are in the throughs currently of another tier 0 format coming. We still haven't gotten the Fire King support yet, which is going to be a supplemental engine that was going to make the Snake Eyes deck, which is already a menace as is, even fucking worse. But even so, in the meantime, we're going to have we have this new RDA support, which, you know it's Soul Resonator is an excellent card. It's gonna support RDA Snake Eyes is probably going to be a thing. It's probably going to be fairly competent. Obviously the Diabellstar engine is obviously superior. I still think. And I personally am probably not gonna play the new RDA support cards just because I like I don't like synchro decks. I like, maybe having synchro options. I would play I had Falco. I would run a Barone in my Jadal deck, because you know Shadal fusion, construct, normal summon Falco. There's a fucking Barone right there. Level 2 tuner, level 8 monster, voila. And then you get to like add your fucking Shadal fusion back. Great. But what do we but aside from me, what is this going to mean for the meta? Not much. Droll and Lockbird is still going to be very much present. Um, the ability to I think the RDA variant is going to have less of a good time playing through hate Droll hate. But realistically, like, Droll and Lockbird is like one of those fucking hand traps. It's like It's like Droll and Lockbird, Dimension Shifter, Crossout Designator. If any of those fucking cards are mainstays in a format as tech options, that's probably indicative of how unhealthy the format actually is. Um, that being said, I do think by and large that the new RDA support is. I mean, it's here's the thing, right? Like, for what it's worth, you know, there's enough Xenolocks within the RDA archetype that you're going to be landing on Hot Red, um, King Calamity, um, maybe a stock RDA, probably a Nova, maybe if you're lucky. Like the actual options that you get to go into with the RDA, like a Void Dragon maybe, but like by and large, the things that you can probably like field one or like two negates with a solid board with RDA cards. The Red Dragon Archfiend cards do one thing very very well, and that is make level 8, level 10, level 12 synchro monsters. That's what they do well. They Xenolock you into Dark Synchros, Dark Synchro Dragons, which can be limiting, and it's probably for the best because as far as like a synchro engine goes, it's really easy to make a level 6, a level 8, a level 8, 10, a level 12. And I don't think that the Xenolocks that are especially on some of the later resonators, like Soul Resonator is great. Don't get me wrong; it allows you to add some shit to hand, allows you to go into Red Rising Dragon with just with the greatest of ease. You get a level 4 fiend monster that can special summon itself, which I'm sure there's at least like 5 or 10 of those at least in the game. Then you can go to Red Rising, easy peasy. The thing that I think, as far as like the meta is concerned, I think there's probably people are going to experiment with RDA Red Eyes, and they're going to probably find that the different Red Dragon supports that exist as they do now are going to be fairly limiting. I think Diabellstar Snake Eyes is probably going to still be the contender, and I think that Diabellstar package is going to get shrunk a little bit, a lot of bit, when the Fire King support comes out, because the Fire King support is like how a real tier 0 meta is going to happen. Although that being said, with being in a format with Max C and having so many more options available to us compared to both OCG and the TCG, I think it's really going to depend on you know, there's been cases where, tier 0 and the TCG or tier 0 and the OCG comes out, not the same in the TCG, but tier 0 and the TCG comes out, not necessarily the case in Master Duel because of the differences in the card pool. That being said, I think it's going to remain to be seen what will end up happening. I'm confident to say that I don't think the RDA support is going to be as impactful on the meta as it is right now, especially with Fire King stuff coming down the line. Nairless says, personally, I'm pretty hyped for the RDA support. It's one of the decks that I absolutely played for IRL for a while, and I absolutely love it. I don't think it's going to be too much change. Yeah, I completely agree. It was definitely like one of the topper tier decks in like a format like Duel Links, which is perfectly fine. Like Duel Links is whatever, especially now. Although I do think that it's going to sell probably at least a little while. There's going to be people who are like role playing with Jack Atlas, because Jack Atlas is just Seto Kaiba for a different generation. Let's be fucking real. And I do think that eventually, of course, I think it's going to sell well just because people are going to want to play with these new cards with their friends, and that's completely valid. I maintain, let us make our own ban lists and use them in duel rooms. Konami, give us more control, turn Master Duel into a platform for Yu-Gi-Oh! Instead of just a game, but that's just me. But regardless, RDA stands for Red Dragon Archfiend. It is an archetype of fiends that go into Dark Dragon Synchro monsters, primarily used by a blonde Nepo baby from the 5Ds anime. It's good. Not like the deck itself, like the Red Dragon Archfiend by itself is actually, like, in my opinion, one of the worst of the 5Ds era. Like, let's be real. We had Power Tool Dragon, Ancient Fairy Dragon, Black Rose Dragon, Stardust Dragon, and then you have RDA. Like, don't get me wrong, Power Tool Dragon, like, is not great. It's not fantastic. But, like, I feel like it does more than just being an Unga Bunga Bingus as far as compared to, like, an RDA. I genuinely think that, like, the amount, like, the RDA of today is leagues and above what it used to be. And I mean, I used to run RDA, Red Dragon Archfiend, in my pile deck back before I knew what deck building was. But that's neither here nor there. I do think, and we're just gonna pivot real quick, just so I can. There was something I was talking about on stream during the subathon yesterday. Subathon is continuing Monday at noon, by the way. I just needed 3 days to decompress. I've been going nonstop for days. My relationship's on the rocks and shit. Like, I needed to just spend some time with my partner. I needed to spend some time cleaning the house. I needed to talk with other friends and have it not be live. But point what I was talking about was I was talking with Professor Blue, another one of my moderators here, Horizon Academy, stuff like that. Go check him out. And one of the things that I was kind of focusing on some level was the Snake Eye, like even if you don't want to go build Snake Eyes, there are certain cards that you just never deconstruct. There are certain packages that you just never deconstruct. That is, it's like your DPE, like your Verte, your DPE, and your Fusion Destiny, your Destiny Heroes or whatever. You never deconstruct those. You don't deconstruct your Adventure Engine. I need to go back and get my Adventure Engine because Adventure Engine slots well in a lot of different decks. It just doesn't, just none of those decks are really pertinent in the format at the moment. Diabell Star is another example of these. It is, yes, a very expensive package. You need, I think, at least 6 URs. That is not fucking cheap, and I acknowledge that. But we are in a Droll format, and every fucking deck can benefit at the bare minimum from a 25k Bingus on field, a targeted negate on field as well, and being able to add another, and being able to add another piece of removal on your opponent's turn. Just go pick it up. I know it's expensive, I know it's shit, and I know you hate it, but I promise you, you know, if you are not like someone who's like has a billion different alt accounts just to play a bunch of different decks, and you just are rocking with like 1 or 2 accounts like me, pick it up. It's worth having, it's worth keeping, and because Diabell Star is the beginning of a new batch of stories being told with Yu-Gi-Oh, like Visa Starfrost before it, Albaz before that, and Dual Terminal before that. Fact of the matter is, or World Legacy before that, and Dual Terminal before that. By and large, they're like certain cards like Wanted, the quick play, that might get limited or even banned, but Diabell Star isn't going anywhere. She's going to be she's too much of a integral part of too many upcoming archetypes. Snake Eyes is just the first. We're going to have many more coming down the line, so just bear wine. Earthbound Sweeper is a fun searcher for Rezos. Yeah, no, that's another good one. I think that's why I saw on Master Duel Meta why some people running the line walkers, or not line walkers, line walkers, so like different line walkers to be able to just get tuners out on the field easy. But that's actually like, I don't know if they've put it into Master Duel yet. That was actually, just, you make a good point, Dust. That was actually one of the archetypes that I was actually like morbidly interested in. The Earthbound Immortal support, the ones where they basically kind of like tie fusions and synchros, and they had like it was an archetype that it's basically ultra polymerization, the archetype. Looks like a lot of fun to me, if I'm being perfectly honest. I like the idea of it, and also everybody, before I continue, everybody watching this, like the fucking live stream, please. Thank you. Yeah, it's just I see the 5Ds era was like on the tail end before I stopped giving a shit about Yu-Gi-Oh. Like there was I played Yu-Gi-Oh all throughout middle school, and then in high school I was desperately trying to have people like me more or some shit, and I quit playing Yu-Gi-Oh. I bought one Xyz structure deck, looked at the cards, uninterested in the mechanics of it, and I just stopped playing. I bought it early freshman year of high school. That was it. And I never touched it again. And that wasn't until college when I came across Rada's Rank 10 Yu-Gi-Oh's videos, and that was how I, like watching Legacy of the Worthless, and that's how I ended up getting back into Yu-Gi-Oh. That was kind of my start for it. Yeah, RDA support's good. It's interesting at the very least. I think they're certainly going to be able to end on, like, instead of ending on like 2 or 3 big Binguses, they're going to be able to end on like maybe 4 or 5 possibly, because Scar Red Dragon Archfiend there's now like an extra step where they're able to like Red Rising is going to allow you to like summon back like 2 things or whatever, 2 tuners or whatever, like in that line is going to let you get 2 tuners back onto field, which is great, whatever, but then you're going to just like use one of them and the Red Rising to go into the not the tuner, but like just like another monster to go into the Scarred Red. And because Scarred Red allows you to basically summon a base RDA from deck, they're going to be able to the amount of like negates. Like I think something like Red Nova Dragon, Red Nova is going to be a lot more common, a lot easier to get to now. I say that like it wasn't already easy. Like RDA resonators already had a pretty fucking piss easy time of getting to their playmakers, but I don't know about, you know, I think it's I think fundamentally at the end of the day I think the RDA deck is like going to be stronger. It's going to be more consistent. They're not going to have to choose between a calamity or a hot. I think they're going to be able to, you know, go into multiple different things at once. Now instead of, you know, having to be able to play through 1 or 2 Omni negates, you're going to have to play through about 2 or 3 Omni negates, or just negates period, or just things you have to worry about. Yeah, I think it's gonna be fun. What the fuck is that? What that dog doing? What you doing, cop? Get your ass out from under there. Come on. But yeah, I don't think. Come on. Let's go inside. Let's go, Booba. Come on. Yeah, I don't think. I don't think it's gonna make any huge splashes. But I do know that like all the Jack Atlas LARPers are probably going to have a lot of fun with this, which, you know, that's always good. It's always Konami has to balance meta with nostalgia, with, you know, people just wanting to have fun. But, you know, I think MBT did a really excellent video the other day. I was watching it while cooking my girlfriend dinner last night at 2 o'clock in the morning. And basically, it's funny, a lot of people were like left Yu-Gi-Oh and then came back to Yu-Gi-Oh, right? And he asked, why did you leave? And then why did you come back? And there was a kind of a through line, right? The through line was, there's 2 reasons why people would come back to Yu-Gi-Oh. 1, a video series or a piece of content that inspired them to want to come back. Or 2, there was product out where you could just go out, buy 3 structure decks, and cream a locals. So cheap, competitive product paired with robust content creation around the medium. Big fucking surprise, that makes the game more popular and brings people back to it. Boy. Yeah, it's just, Konami is just... I got Castlevania friends, man. I got Castlevania friends that are still malding about that fucking pachinko machine. I'm just saying. All right, let's see. Yeah, we got 67% of y'all actually hyped for the new RDA support. Let's fucking go. But it looks to me as if the animals are ready to go inside. So let me end that poll. Thank you guys for watching. Appreciate you sticking by for this little discussion. I will see you guys later. Hit the Discord. I'll be around. Toodaloo.